Imagine having a game-changing weapon sitting on your sideline and nobody using them. Before we blame the coaches, ask yourself this. What if the only thing standing between the Cowboys and a more explosive offense is us? Because right now, the Dallas Cowboys could be holding back a player who could instantly shift the momentum to greater. And fans might be the only ones who can force their hands. If you've seen all the Cowboys can be, think again. There's one name that can unlock a whole nother gear, but only if we make noise. Let's talk about why the Dallas Cowboys should unleash Israel Abanikanda and why the campaign starts with you. Hashtag let Izzy get busy. Let Izzy get busy. Yes, indeed. Another campaign. Why are you talking about another campaign? First of all, because they work. If you look at the history of all the campaigns that we've been running together as a community, we've been getting what we want at like a 90% level. No Kellen Moore was so effective that the first thing they talked about on the fan that morning after only 24 hours of that campaign was no Kellen Moore. 6 a.m. in the morning. Team Trenches, did you win? Yes. Respect One Tech with Quentin Williams and Clark. Did you win? Yes. Pay Micah now? You lost only because of Jerry Jones. Only. He got in his feelings. Key Allen to Dallas, which was about wide receiver 2. Did you win? You did. Running back duo, did you get it? Yes, you did. Yes, you did. You just got that. Team aggressive, meaning F them picks. Did Jerry and them move in a way that was F them picks? Yes, they did. So why run campaigns? Because they work. Because it's a way for you to let Jerry and them know as a fan what you want. And Jerry and them care. Listen.
Jerry, Steven, and some other people in the front office, they do get a printout. I don't know if it's daily, but every couple days of, Twitter things that, are being written and people are being.
Yeah. So they get a report literally every day or every other day about what we're talking about. So that's why it's time to push Let Izzy get busy. And I get it. I just did a film breakdown that's right now up to 31,000 views within 24 hours. That's a lot, right? Especially for my channel. That's a lot. So it's showing that the fans are registering with Israel, which means a lot, obviously. It's showing that the fans also recognize that there could be a need. When you have that many views go out that fast, there's obviously a lot of activity in the search activity going on. Now, from 31,000, I also got some key questions. I'm going to answer those questions today. All right. And then we go talk about why the campaign. So I got some questions from that video because it was a bunch of comments. So I'm going to address a lot of people saying, why not Mafah? I'm hearing other people ask questions like, if Israel's was so good, why didn't Israel ball already with the teams? So we go answer all of that. But then we go fully kind of get into the background and why we need to be pushing for this now, because we have a window to where we can literally change the whole identity and make us better, even on offense. Yeah, I did say it. We can be better. We can do better. Matter of fact, I'm gonna change the vibe to the We Can Do Better. If y'all don't know, that's the vibe. That song is called We Can Do Better, what I'm jamming right now. But listen, so let's get into the background because I got a lot of receipts I got to go through. So we go just kind of rock this until we finish. All right, so listen up. This is why we got to rock this campaign. So the number one reason we need to rock this campaign because of the civil war that's going on between Brian and Stephen Jones. Where we can do better. And what's going on is it's a civil war going on, honestly, from an identity of finesse versus physical. And this has been an ongoing challenge for a while for Brian. It's actually been going on even before the draft. It's been going on for a while. So if you listen to Brian, I done cut this up and made it easy. You can see that he has a certain specific identity. I want y'all to listen.
We're going to go based on how our offensive line goes, and they're going to play really, really physical. They're going to be tone setters, if you will, and that's very exciting.
They know that we're going to have a very clear and communicated standard for what we expect from them. For me, that's going to start in the offensive line room, and I'm very excited about developing a relationship with those guys. But also, like I said, I need to have that same relationship with Dak. I need to have that same relationship with CD. So my time's going to be spread a little bit more in that way. But it's going to start in the offensive line room. What's on the tape? Are they doing it right? Are they playing violent? Are they finishing? Those are the things that you look for.
What do you want your offensive identity to be?
Physical. Again,
it's a deal where we're preaching speed, violence, and finish.
I talked a little bit in the opening press conference about, the marriage between the run game and the action passes, but, as a football team, as an offense, we want to be physical. My MO has always been to run the football.
Y'all better listen.
I really believe that the game, like I said, is up front.
Listen.
Led the league twice, the coordinator, proud of that. I think getting a guy like Clayton Adams really helps us as the coordinator.
Yeah, I think when you looked at it, we were, number one, thrilled about the young man, the power, the strength. When you sit down and you visit with this guy, he's an alpha. He knows what he wants. He knows how good he is. He knows how talented he is. And I think you look at
Steve in body language. Yeah, y'all better listen to me.
What you got with Tyler Smith at left guard, Cooper Beebe, and now you add this guy. The interior of your pocket, the core of your run
Wanted that finesse Matthew Golden, so he's sitting there with a little attitude.
Game, all that stuff inside. We want to move people, and we want to own the line of scrimmage, and this is the guy that gives us a chance to do that with the pieces we have in place.
His knowledge, I've been tracking him for a couple years now. He's an incredible mind when it comes to not just the run game, but just how to attack defenses and how to get favorable leverage and things like that. But physical is the first thing that kind of jumps out at me.
So you can clearly see that Brian has built the team and is fighting to build the team for physicality, not finesse. It's obvious. And there's a war of finesse going on. Like, even when you look at the coaches, the very coaches that he picked was handpicked because of trench identity, right? Run game identity, and a violent identity. He is not interested in no finesse, y'all. So I'm gonna just be honest with y'all. A lot of the things that Steven has been pushing for is finesse as shit. It's finesse. Matthew Golden would have been a finesse pick over Booker. Now we seeing the benefits of Booker. Team trenches was right. And Brian was trying to preach the whole time that you win these games at the line of scrimmage. So hence, when we got Quentin Williams and we got Clark, then you start seeing the physicality. And a lot of y'all ain't gonna want to hear this. I'm gonna say what my boy Law always says, because it's real. Don't shake me with the butter knife when I say this, but Blue is finesse. He's finesse, and that has always been Stephen Jones' pick. Not even Will McClay. It's more so Stephen Jones. So this is the reason why we got to be pushing for Israel, because I always been telling y'all that it's a silent divide going on between them two, especially at running back, and especially over the identity of this offense and this team. What's going on is Steven is over inserting himself into the vision of Shotty, and this is why I did a show, and y'all need to go check out them shows. Listen, they worth it, bro. They full of receipts. I don't do that. Some people say they talk facts. They don't talk facts. They don't show you no receipts. I'm gonna show you all the receipts, and go check them out where you can see the receipts. I'm gonna leave the link at the top right corner. Go check it out. And I showed y'all on another video that I did that they have betrayed him on his vision, and it's clear. And this is all leading up to Israel, but I got to give y'all the background, because they promised that they was gonna be aligned to him, and they never kept their promise on alignment. I want y'all to listen.
I think that's the greatest part, is being aligned from top down, and that's one of the commitments that we all made sitting in there about what we're going to do and how we're going to do it. It starts with ownership coming down, but Shotty's got a plan, got a vision. We're going to support that, and then what we'll do is continue to add good players. I have a great feeling about Shotty, what he's looking for.
They promised that they was gonna be aligned to him, but they didn't keep that promise. When they went and got Blue, that was a finesse pick. And that was not aligned to Brian at all. So they promised them that we're going to be aligned, and they didn't. I want y'all to listen again. Listen. I want y'all to fully listen to Will McClay on this, because he promised alignment, Steven promised alignment, and they didn't do it.
I think that's the greatest part, is being aligned from top down, and that's one of the commitments that we all made sitting in there about what we're going to do and how we're going to do it. You know, it starts with ownership coming down, but Shotty's got a plan, got a vision. We're going to support that, and then what we'll do is continue to, add good players. I have a great feeling about Shotty, what he's looking for. He's going to communicate. He's going to over-communicate. He's going to ask.
Y'all don't think Brian communicated his style of physicality? He done let it out the bag so many times this year that he wants physical, that he wants physical backs, and it's all in his history. You didn't even have to ask Shotty to know that. Just look at his history, his daddy history. It's clear.
The staff to do that, and they're going to over-communicate with us, and we're going to over-communicate with them. That's how we're going to get it done the first year, and we'll continue to grow and get better at it.
And they didn't do it. Hence why we looking at what we're looking at now. And see, I did another video. I'm just showing y'all all the receipts. I did another video where Troy peeped the game. Troy peeped it. I want y'all to really listen, because I'm showing y'all the background so we can know why we should be pushing for Israel to get a shot now. Not later, not sit on the practice squad, now.
Troy, you mentioned Brian Schottenheimer and some of his leadership. I felt it's been amazing throughout the season, especially the last 2 weeks. But it's about football tonight. Dak Prescott was playing at an MVP early on in the season as MVP level, but the last 2 weeks he struggled a bit. What can Brian Schottenheimer do to get Dak Prescott back going and in turn this offense?
Well, I think, and I at least thought coming into the season.
Listen, I at least thought coming into this season.
And knowing who Brian Schottenheimer's father is, and Marty Schottenheimer and Marty Ball, and Brian talked about wanting to run the football, and that's kind of in his DNA. I thought that we would see more of the run game than we've seen.
He clearly peeped it. Like, this, I thought we were going to see more run. And see, why we not seeing it? Why we not seeing more? Why we not, you know why? Because Shotty doesn't trust the RB2s. And the RB2s, to be all the way honest, does not fit him. So I'm going to just tell y'all straight up. I'm going to tell y'all straight up and honest. Stephen Jones is in the way. And we have not yet, even as of yet, have seen all that Brian wants to do. So now check this out. Going back to what I said on this breakdown that I did, that it's a lot of questions in there. So let's go through some of the questions. We're going to answer them, and then we're going to talk about this campaign. So one of the questions is, why didn't Israel ball already if he's really that guy boss? Like, what's going on? Okay, that's a very good question. It's a logical question too. I have no problem with that question. Boss, I know you saying he was in your Boss Cowboy, your little book. You had 3 stars by him, and your little book, your little book. You wrote in 2023, and you had him as your 5th best and 3 stars. Yeah, why, boss? If he's so good, boss? If he what y'all say is, why he ain't playing around the league? So one of the lessons we should be able to kind of answer that question came from our own guy. It came from Curse. So I know if y'all remember Jaron Curse. See, Jaron Curse was somebody that was a starter grade quality talent, but was in a deep room. That I'm talking about, that's exactly what was going on. And I was super high on him, and I also had him in my Boss Cowboy guide, where I literally talked about him as one of my top sleepers. I said Jaron Curse is the Boss Cowboy best sleeper in the UFA safety class. He has the Georgia local size with better youth. Curse had a DWI which will lower his price. Curse also has limited film. The limited film is not due to a lack of skill, but due to a super talented safety room. So this is true what I'm getting ready to say. For example, there was a time legendary safety Sean Taylor was a backup at the University of Miami. Was Taylor not good enough for Miami? No. Taylor was behind Hall of Famer Ed Reed. No curse is not Taylor, but Taylor is an example of how exceptional talent can get buried. And that's the case I'm making. That's the exact case that I'm making for Israel. Sometimes you can be exceptionally talented, but you are in deep rooms. And that's what happened to him. I want y'all to listen to Curse, and then we gonna go back and show this happened to Israel. Listen.
Casual Cowboy fan who was not familiar with your work would look at what you've done here this first month, and all of us who saw training camp said, well, the guy's having a great camp. And a lot of fans might look at that and say, why was he a free agent? How's this?
Yeah, it's the same question people asking with Israel. If he's so good, boss, if he's in your little God, if he's in your little book with 3 stars, why he not playing, boss? The same question they was asking with Curse. Well, why did you go undiscovered?
This guy on the street. Have you just had coaches interested in giving you better opportunity here than you've had in your previous stops?
For the start of my career, I came into a situation which was, we had Harrison Smith, and we played the same thing, and Harrison's a great safety.
Yep.
I think he's a Hall of Famer. So it's kind of tough coming in and kind of thinking you're going to get playing time when you're playing behind someone like that.
That simple. And see, remember when Curse was playing with Minnesota, because he was drafted by Minnesota, they also had Harris at the time who had 6 interceptions. So he basically just had paid starters and bona fide dogs in front of him. That's what happened. So then to people that would say, well, if he's so good in your little book, I know you have him in your little book, boss. And I know a lot of people around the draft community, pretty much anybody that you talk to that's deep into the draft, like Tuck or Lou or Vach, they gonna know exactly who he is, and they gonna speak highly of him. So, boss, why didn't he ball? If he's so good, if he's somebody that can come in and save, well, why he ain't playing? Well, first of all, he was drafted by the Jets, and they had Breece Hall already. Remember, Breece Hall before that ACL injury was going crazy, similar to Smith. Sometimes you can be a good player, but sometimes a good or great player just buried behind a better player. And the exact same year that they got Israel, they also got Braylon Allen around before him. So, and y'all know I was high on Braylon. And then also what happened with San Fran. When they acquired him off of waivers, Christian McCaffrey was sitting there. Like, how much play is he go get? And I'm talking about Israel when Christian McCaffrey is sitting there. But boss, what happened in Green Bay? Y'all forget who are at Green Bay? That's Jacobs over there, man. That is Jacobs over there, y'all. So, come on now. So it's the exact same situation that happened to Curse, where you can be a good player in a league. You can be a dog, bona fide, high quality starter like Curse was before he hurt his shoulder. See, when he hurt his shoulder with Dallas, that took the sting out of him. But yeah, the fans loved him. And they was like, how did the people miss on him? He was behind other people in a deep room. That's what happened. That's the only thing that happened. So finally, when he got to Dallas, he got his shot. Sometimes it's about where you end up. It's not about if you're good or not. It's where you end up. Sometimes that's how it is. Put it like this. If anybody, I don't care who you was, if you came in as a tight end behind Witten, you wasn't playing. Period. You could be Kelsey. You wouldn't playing. If Kelsey was drafted under Witten, he was not going to play. And Kelsey is better than Witten. Yeah, Bennett, he wasn't gonna get no act. That's why Bennett blew up when he left. Yeah. So it's one of those things that we make judgments like, if you so good, why you not playing? Sometimes you got to look at what's in front of people. So I just want to answer y'all question. So then another question that came from that video is, why not Mafah? If Brian Schottenheimer love these big backs so much, then why not Mafah? Well, this one is simple. Just listen to Brian.
One last quick one. Miles Sanders went on season-ending IR last week. Is Phil Mafah a guy y'all want to open the practice window for?
We're talking about different things. Again, Phil's been, doing good with all his rehab and things like that, and a lot of things that we like about Phil. But there's other options out there potentially as well, and we're keeping all those options open.
Tommy Yards, DallasCowboys.com.
So clearly you can see Brian don't have no confidence in Mafah. So for people that's like, if Brian like big backs, why not just go with Mafah? Because Brian is showing you that he's swiping left on Mafah. And he did that exact same thing in the offseason with those guards. Remember they was bringing in a whole bunch of guards? That wasn't nothing but Stephen Jones on that finesse bullshit. Yeah, because clearly in hindsight that it was clear that they was just trying to put a Band-Aid on the offensive line, and he was like, yeah, we gonna give you some guards. And he like, man, you better go get Booker. That's why Booker was the last 30 visit that came in the final week, because Brian was swiping left. So to answer y'all question, why not Mafah, is because Brian is not high on him, and he clearly not high on him. Yeah, just being big is not enough. You also have to have the skills that he's looking for as well. So, because I'm just answering these questions before we really push this campaign. The next thing is fairness. And so my response to that is fair or fit. Because I've had this discussion before. I want y'all to listen. Listen. This happened. Just listen.
Milton. So competition my ass. Miles Sanders come.
Why did Lou say competition my ass? You know why he said that? Because this was in preseason. We was talking about the preseason game, and he was like, where's the competition? How is this fair? Why is Williams not being used? And it was a question of fairness over fit. Now listen, and that's why he said out the gate, competition my ass.
Milton. So competition my ass. Miles Sanders come play from IR.
I'm gonna jump in real quick, man. Maybe I can calm y'all down. Do y'all want me to try?
No.
Yeah. That must say no.
It was a yes or no question.
You true. That's a close in the question. Like, I did ask you a close in the question. So let me try to calm y'all down just a little bit. I kind of understand Williams being RB1. I do. And I'm going to tell you why. You heard me talk about this, Henny. The style of shoddy backs has always been power backs. Fit versus fit, or fair versus fit. See, it wasn't fair, but it was a fit. And because Williams was a fit, fuck fair. Give a damn about fair. It's like, nah, I ain't got time. Listen, if you fit what I'm looking for and you go make my offense go, I don't care about fair. I don't. And that's why I was saying I understand why Shoddy bubble wrapped him. Listen, regardless of speed, it's his style, So he wants to lead with a physical presence. And we all knew when they made all these acquisitions, we knew which one of those guys was the physical one. We knew it, right? Yep. We knew it was with Williams. And that's why I said that. And that was before Williams took off. That was before he took off like a rocket. This was in preseason when people was like, why is he not in the competition? It's because he was the fit. And Brian, which leads to this, Israel is Williams and Brian insurance. The reason why Brian bubble wrapped Williams because he was like, bro, I can't risk him getting hurt. Because then if he get hurt, I'm going to be stuck with these finesse ass backs. And these backs that don't even fit my style of offense. I want to be physical because I want to really be able to really sell play action. Because if the defense is worried about getting hit by the running back, they go bite harder on play action. Yeah. So he bubble wrapped me. Was it fair? No. Did it match his talk of competition? No. But was he right? Yep. So when it come down to Israel, it's the same thing. I don't care nothing about no fair. Because some people be, Malik Davis. Hey, listen, bro, I'm going to be honest with you. Malik Davis is playing good. But I said this before we even made the acquisition of Israel. He's not the fit. Now, Malik Davis is forcing his name in a hat. But that he don't fit the overall identity of what Brian is trying to do. Hence why he keeps swiping left. Y'all better peep game. He swipes left on these. He was doing that with guard in the offseason. Man, stop trying to force Blue and Malik on me, man. I know what I want. I know my style. Bro, listen. I done said this so many times. I get tired of saying it, bro. It's a whole long history of types. It's goddamn. How long we go look at this whole long history and then be like, let's be fair to Malik. Let's be fair to Blue. Man, ain't got time for that fair shit. Oh, this is grown man business, bro. No, it's about fit. Fuck fair. I don't care about no fair. No. Give the head coach who's been right what he been. Just stop playing with him, bro. Like, how many times y'all gonna say, yeah, we want to be aligned to Brian, and then y'all not aligned to him? Now aligned to what the head coach been wanting. He was right about Booker. He was right about winning through the trenches. He's right about RB2. Just yield to him. Get out the way. Real talk, man. So when I talk about Williams and Brian insurance, it's real. We need insurance for Williams. Listen.
And what's that balance, Zeke? Because, going back to the feed, Zeke, it's like there's always the school of thought where a running back needs carries to get in rhythm. But then on the other hand, you're fresh. So what's that balance there with being in rhythm but also being fresh?
And honestly, this season, the season's only getting longer.
Listen.
We added a new game last year, and I'm not going to lie, in the past, I've made it through the regular season, but by the time playoffs come around, that body hurting. It's really hurting. And
by the time the playoffs come around, that body hurting. You see why I played that 3 times in a row?
The season's only getting longer. We added a new game last year, and I'm not going to.
Hold on, listen.
Lie, in the past, I've made it through the regular season, but by the time playoffs come around, that body hurting. It's really hurting. And when you start thinking about longevity, your career's longevity, and just being fresh towards the end of the season, it makes more sense. This way makes more sense. It makes more sense for us to,
When he say this way, he's saying having 2 backs that you can depend on.
Split that load and tear them defenses up together.
So he's extending your career.
Yes, sir.
And what's he done for your career, Tony?
Same way, vice versa.
Ain't that a bitch? So listen, man, it does upset me, bro, because the evidence is always right there in front of our face and we ignore it. It just pissed me off that we'll be looking at evidence and we'll be like, I don't see it. But like, what we doing, bro? I'm dead serious when I say that Israel is Williams insurance as well as Brian insurance. So this physical style of offense that we see through Williams, what back does that if Williams get injured? Let me turn off this music and ask that question. This physical style that we're seeing, what back does that if Williams get injured? Does Davis do it? Does Blue do it? I ain't just talking about a running back. I'm talking about the identity of your head coach, the identity of your offense. Who does that? Is it Malik Davis? Is it Blue?
Oh, hell no! No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
Hence Israel. Hence the campaign. Hence why we need to be pushing for this now. Not waiting. Not, well, let's see how it play out. Fuck, man, listen, bro. No, I ain't trying to hear none of that. Nah. It's in our face. Let's act like it. And on top of that, again, campaigns work. They work. We done pretty much got everything that we've been pushing for. Now, it's a lot of people go try to treat us like our voice don't matter. They go, sneak this and say freedom fighters and all kind of shit because we organized and because we know how to get their attention. They done told us they listening, so why not talk to them?
Like, I bet you at least check it and things like that. Now, I will say, so Jerry, Steven, and some other people in the front office, they do get a printout. I don't know if it's daily, but every couple days of, Twitter things that, are being written and people are.
Yeah. So they getting a report every day or every other day about what we saying. That's why we should be behind this campaign. This is the thing we need to do now. Let the Cowboys know now. Share this content and hashtag Dallas. At Dallas, let Izzy get busy. We need to see him now. We need him in the offense now. I don't care nothing about no fair and all of that. No, shut up with that. I don't care nothing about no damn fair. Now, we already know at this point, if you don't know, you pretending not to know. Brian has been way too clear on big backs. He's been way too clear. I've showed way too much documentation. At this point, you don't want to know. So let's get real busy on letting Izzy cook. We need to let Izzy get busy. So let me tell you something. You also make some money. Go for a Hail Mary in your sleeper picks and win up to 100 times your money. Use promo code BCS and Sleeper will 100% match your first deposit up to $100 instantly. And I'm going to continue to give y'all content like this because it's right. It's winning content. It's ideas to help us win a championship. So hit that like and subscribe and turn on your notifications. But most importantly, let's push the hell out of this campaign. These campaigns have been working. Let's not watch a play that work and not do it. What does Philly do with tush push? They say shit. That ugly play works over and over. So guess what they do? They do it over and over and again. So if we get 90% success by pushing and letting Jerry and them know what we want, let them know we want to see Brian get his back involved now. It's your boy Boss Show Me, bringing you another one. I'm out.